Hello and welcome to Type on PDF training and demonstration video. Type on PDF is a new app for the iOS that runs on iPhones or iPads that allows you to take PDF documents and type or write on them and then export them back via email or to other applications. So how do you actually get a PDF into Type on PDF to work on it? Well, you can get it in multiple ways. If you have, for example, a mail attachment like this, you can click and hold on it to select Open in Type on PDF, or from another application like Dropbox, you can select Open in and select Type on PDF, and then the PDF will be transferred to Type on PDF and then opened in there. There is a bug in iOS 5 that sometimes the open in the open in dialog Type on PDF doesn't show up. And this is I have reported this to Apple, and hopefully they're working on it. But what happens is when you click and hold on a PDF document, other apps show up but not Type on PDF. This happens very rarely. And if it does happen to you, the only resolution at this point is to go in and see which apps show up and start deleting the apps one by one until Type on PDF shows up. And then once Type on PDF shows up, you may or may not be able to reinstall the apps you deleted and still have Type on PDF show up. So again, this is a bug new in iOS 5. Hopefully it will be resolved soon. But for most people, this isn't an issue. Okay, so once you get a PDF into Type on PDF, how does it work? So we're going to go to a form here and do a sample of how it works. For example, this is a rebate form. Let's suppose you're filling out. And once you open a PDF form, you'll see the main toolbar up here at the top. These are buttons here to allow you to go to the next page or previous page. Obviously, this document only has one page. You can also use a page slider to move to the next page or previous page. This is the name of the form. If you want to change the name, just click on it and type in the new name, and then you can rename the form that way. These are the main tool buttons. There's a text tool, which is what's selected now. This is the pen tool that allows you to draw on the document. This is the images tool. The images tools are discussed in a separate video to this one. So we'll discuss the text and writing tools on this video. This is the document list to get back to your document list to see which documents you have stored on your iPad. Okay, so let's suppose we're going to go ahead and work on this form. We're going to select the text tool or the typewriter tool, and all you have to do is just touch where you want to start typing text, and you can just start typing, just like this. Now, once you start typing, you'll notice that you'll have some options as far as size of text, etc. So once you start typing, you can go ahead and this is the text larger button to make the text larger, and this is the text smaller button to make it smaller. You can press and hold on these buttons and it'll do it in a little faster fashion. So once you have the text the right size that you want it, you can use these buttons here to allow you to move the text to wherever you want. So this is the up and down, allows you to move this text up and down, and this allows you to move it left and right. So once you have it positioned to where you want, you can go ahead and hit the tab button, and it'll create a new field for you, and then you can move the field to where you want. So the tab button, again, is this button up here on the upper left here. So let's go ahead and put a last name in here in this form, and then once I'm done with this one, I'm going to hit return. Return will then create a new field below your current field, and we can go ahead and position this field where we want, and type in our text. Just like this, I'm going to go ahead and hit return again after this, and again type in the city. We'll position it where we want. Again, hit tab again to create a new field. And what's nice about the tab is it creates a new field at the exact same line orientation as the previous line, so it'll be exactly right opposite the one you were just working on. So let's suppose it's a Z, and just like this, we're going to go ahead and fill out the rest of this form here.
By the way, one of the new features of Type on PDF is the addition of multi-line text boxes. Normally when you click on an area of the field, you get a single line box to type into. If you want to create a multi-line box, simply touch and hold on an area, wait for the text box letters to show up, and then drag your box to wherever you want. And this multi-line text box, you can type in multiple lines of text like this. And then you can actually grab it and resize the box, and then it'll automatically resize the text for you.
Okay, we finished filling out the fields in this form, and you can see that when we're in text or typewriter mode, the text fields are highlighted blue for us so that we can see it. When we go to pencil mode or pen mode, the highlights will go away, and this is what your actual document will look like. So now that we're in pen mode, let's look at the pen tools. So there's different pen colors you can use. There's blue, black, red, or green. There's even a highlighter tool and an eraser tool. This is the undo tool, and this allows you to erase all pen marks on the screen. So now that the blue tool is selected, I can go ahead and actually physically write on anywhere. So I can write anywhere on the document just like this. Again, if you use if you click on the pen tool again to bring the tools back up, if you use the undo, it'll undo. You can have multiple undos of your writing. The highlighter tool allows you to highlight text, so you can actually go in and highlight different parts of a document. And the eraser tool allows you to erase written marks. So those are the basic tools for the pen tools. Again, this button clears all pen marks on the thing, but obviously your text is still maintained. Now, if you're in text mode and you're in a field, there's also an eraser here. This allows you to erase all the text on the document. Okay, so now that you're done with the document, how do you actually send it? All you have to do is hit the send button, and you can select page ranges. Obviously this is a single page document, so we're just going to select all of it. And then you have some options on where you want to send the PDF after it's created. Now, all the annotations you did, all the text you put on it, all the writing you put on it, gets embedded into the base image of the PDF file so that it's not changeable anymore. So once it's exported to back to PDF, nobody can change your annotations. And that's for enhanced security of the document. So let's suppose like we can select email to send this as an email attachment, or we can send it to another app, any other application that can accept PDF, for example, like Dropbox, that you want to store it in your Dropbox, or you can print it to a printer. So that's the basic workflow for Type on PDF. Let's look at a different document here and see how this works. So this document is something that you may commonly see on PDF forms, which is like a table that you have to fill out. So let's go ahead and start filling out this table. We'll select the text tool. We'll go ahead and position this field where we want to start it, and we're going to go ahead and just type some text here. Okay, so I'm going to move this to where I want, and you know what? I think I'm going to make this text a little bit bigger. So we'll just go ahead and make it a little bit bigger, and then once I'm done with this one, I'm going to hit the tab and position this field, type some text here. I'm going to hit tab again, go over here and type some text here. Again, tab again, go over here and type some text here. Then I'm going to hit return to get to the next line, and then I'm going to type some text. Now, let's suppose that this line's a little bit off, maybe it's a little bit higher than the one below it. I can go ahead and adjust it, and Type on PDF will remember line spacing, so that the next time you hit return, it knows how far in between the lines are in this particular table. Not only does it remember line spacing, it also remembers tabs, so that when I'm done with this field and I hit tab, it remembers the tab stop from the line above it. So you can go ahead and hit tab again, type in some text here, hit tab again, type in some text here, then hit return. Again, it's perfectly positioned for the next line and the next tab. So this makes typing and filling out tables like this extremely easy. So that's a great feature of Type on PDF. Now let's talk a little bit about templates. You can make templates for forms that you commonly use in Type on PDF so that the fields are already positioned exactly where you want them, and it's easy to go from field to field. So let's show you an example of a template that we've made and can use. So for example, here's a bill of sale template that I made. You'll notice that there's a bunch of fields already on this form, but they're just not filled out. And so we'll show you how to make the template in just a second, but we'll show you how the template works. So the way a template works is you just select on a field, you can just type in, start typing in text, and then I'm going to turn this button on here. This is called return mode. And what return mode does is that when you hit the return key normally, it creates a new field underneath the present field. But with return mode turned on, instead of creating a new field, it just takes you to the next field. So, we'll type in some text here. And I'm going to hit return again, it takes me to the next field, and just like that, it makes it real easy to fill out forms. So if I keep hitting return, it'll just keep taking me to the next field. Okay, and so this is great. So if you have a multiple page form that you want to be and, have a template made that will have all the fields positioned exactly where we want it, you can do this. Now, this templating feature is enhanced in Type on PDF Pro, so if you want more control over the templates and exactly sizing and what to put in it, including smart fields, you may want to look at the Type on PDF Pro video to see if that will work better for you. So how do you actually go about creating this template? Okay, so we're going to go ahead and show you that. First thing we're going to do is start off with a blank PDF form. So we'll have a blank version of this form without the fields on it right here. So this is a completely blank form, just native PDF. And I'm going to go ahead and position a field here right where I want it. Now I'm going to go ahead and type in some text. Wow. And see what size is this. Now it's a little bit big for me, so I'm going to make it a little bit smaller. And I'm going to go ahead and move it position exactly where I want it. And then I'm going to hit the X to clear that text out, and I'm going to put in at least 2 spaces. You can put in more spaces if you want, but you need to put in at least a couple of spaces to keep that field from disappearing after you leave it. So that field is now set, so I'll go to the next field and next place and do the same thing. Put in a few spaces. I'm going to hit the return, position the next field where I want. Oh, we're in return mode, so let's turn that off. Let's hit return here, and then position the next field. Again, I can go in and type text here, make sure it looks good, so it still looks fine. And again, put spaces here, and this is how you create a template. So I'm going to go through and do this for the entire form here, and then we'll see how to save the template. Okay, so now I've finished creating the form fields in this template, and we need to talk a little bit about field order. So now with this template created, I can go ahead and hit the return mode, and it'll take me through to the forms. But the order in which it takes me through the forms may be important to you. So right now it's going from this field to this field to this field to this field, and then it's going to go to make here, and then it's going to go to year. But maybe I want it to go from make to model to year instead of make, then year, then model. So how do I adjust that? So that's called the field order. And to get to the field order, you select, once you're in a field, you select this pound button. This is the field order button. And so when you click on it, it shows you the order in which the fields are presented to the user. So to renumber the fields, all you have to do is just select the first field you want, then select the second, then select the third, fourth, the fifth, but we don't want the year to be the 6th. We want the model to be 6. So we select this for 6, this for 7, this for 8, etc. And you don't have to select all of them through the field, just the ones you want to change through, and then hit save, and that'll save the field order. Now, if you're making this template and you had a bunch of sample text in here, but you want to erase all the sample text, for example, and just make spaces out of it, that's what the spaces button does. It basically, once you've created your template, and you want to erase all the text, but just make all the field values set to 5 spaces. You hit that, and then that's done. And so now all your text is cleared out, and you're ready to save your template. So as soon as I finish creating a template, the first thing I'll do is click the lock button on it. The lock button will lock the template so that it's no longer modifiable, and you can't accidentally erase it either. So if you try to open a locked template, it won't open. Okay, so what do you do with the locked templates? First thing that you do is go ahead and duplicate it. This will make a copy of it. So every time, for example, you use the same form over and over and over again, you keep your main template locked, and then you just duplicate it to create a copy of it, and you can open this one, and you can rename it. Maybe you'll rename it to the person that is buying the car, and then start using it. So then you can start using this, and it works great as far as using a template for each separate sale that you make. Now, let's suppose I want to share this template that I made with my coworkers. Maybe I have 5 or 6 other people that work out in the field that have iPads or iPhones, and I want to be able to share this. So to share this template, you can click the share button. The share button basically will take that template and encapsulate it into a .tpd file. A .tpd is an internal file format for Type on PDF that gets sent out as a file, and when they receive it on their iPad or iPhone, they can just touch and hold on the .tpd file and open it and type on PDF, and then your template with a whole background with your fields, everything gets transported and installed on their iPad. So it's an easy way to share templates that you've created for yourself. Okay, let's go into a little bit more details on what's available here in the document list window. Obviously, each document is listed here. There's the name of the document. The document can be sorted by name, date, or date that it was created or date that it was modified. This is the date that it was created. This is the date that it was modified. These blue buttons allow you to select the document, so you can select multiple documents. The selection is just for deleting. So if I select these two and I hit delete, it'll delete those two. We don't actually want to delete it, so we'll do that. To deselect it, just select on it. All will select all the documents. None will select none of the documents. The new button allows you to create a new document, and you have four options here for creation. You can do a blank portrait document, which is the blank portrait-oriented document that you can write on or type on, just like that, or you can put in text anywhere. The blank landscape is the same thing except in landscape orientation. From clipboard image is an option where you can copy an image or multiple images to the clipboard from your photo library or from the web, and then it'll create a PDF with that image as a background, so you can annotate and write on it. So if you, for example, if you have 3 images selected and copied to your clipboard from your image library, it'll create a 3-page PDF with each image as a separate image for the background. So that's an important feature here. From clipboard link is another important feature, and we'll show you what that does. Is let's suppose you're in Safari. We're going to open up Safari here, and you're looking at a PDF form. What if you want to take this form and put it into Type on PDF? Well, one of the things you can do is go ahead and copy the link location for this. So we're going to go ahead and hit select all and copy this, okay? And then we can go back to Type on PDF, and you can select new, and from clipboard link, and that'll then download that file right off the web, right into Type on PDF, and you can go ahead and rename it by clicking on here. For example, this is a 1040 form. We'll call it 1040, and that's an easy way to import documents. The other thing that you can do from Safari is if you have the document open, if you touch on it, it'll say open in Type on PDF, or you can select the open in and Type on PDF. Again, to get that menu up, you need to touch near the top of it, and if you select open in Type on PDF, that'll also open it in Type on PDF. So when you're actually seeing a PDF document in Safari, you can go ahead and open it that way. Okay, so that's the majority of the details here. The demo button here allows you to view the videos. You're viewing the basic video right now. After this video, it's important that you watch the image tools to find out how image tools work. And I'd also recommend you watch the Pro video to show you how Type on PDF Pro works, and and how smart fields work, and how much you can extend your templates with Type on PDF Pro. So that concludes this video. If you touch on the bottom of the documents list, it'll give you our other support links, which includes our website, our Twitter account, Facebook account, and also where you can go on Vimeo to view all of our software demo videos. This is our support email address, and that concludes this video, and I hope you've enjoyed Type on PDF. If you do like it, please do me a favor and write a positive review in the App Store. It really helps out with further development, and thanks again.